Welcome, Iana, to the podcast.
Thank you, Ohad, for inviting me.
Thank you for coming.
I'm thrilled and excited.
Yeah, me too. I saw you in the Kerimiko group that you were added, and then you shared your Instagram. And I just went to your Instagram, and everything was so vibrant and so colorful. And I did not knew how much you were doing until we got in touch a little bit, and you told me about yourself. And
Thank
you're
you.
doing a lot. It's like you're everywhere.
Yeah, maybe it's an impression, but maybe it's also a little bit truth, because finally I have more time for it and for my project. Because yeah, indeed, I can focus. I got some space and time after, getting away, getting rid of the full-time position that took all my energy. Now I can focus more on the projects that I love, or yeah, and that's really with big like big
Push, drive, passion.
drive and passion. Invest time and energy into what makes sense for me, where I see some like life purpose, and where I'm like, yeah.
It's a different way to spend your day when you need to work for someone and do the work for them, or you take those 8-10 hours and you do it for something you really have passion for.
Yeah,
It's the same time, but it's like the mental energy that we generate because of our emotion is such a different quality.
it's absolutely a truth. And I think like we are raising our vibrations as we work for what we really love and resonate with. So it's like such a powerful exchange of energy and flow of energy inside of us, like through our brain and body. Then we are not getting tired, we are just getting more energized. And
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. It's kind of paradox, but it makes sense
absolutely.
when you're there. But from someone who is outsider, it will seem like you're a crazy person. That you do a lot and how you don't burn out and how can you have all this energy? You must be something special.
Well, I also burned out. Sometimes you have to invest this energy wisely and maybe delegate something. I also had to learn to delegate a lot of things. I'm still learning. Like every day, I do. I try to release more, like this personal attitude to professional things, but it's a process. I think
Yeah,
we
it's all skills that adds up.
we are on the good way.
Yeah, definitely.
I have the good feeling also about your projects, and I see that you are trying to kind of build up the space that for people, or the stage for people to express their creative self, tell about themselves, like and to build a community, and also do music. So this is very beautiful mission.
Thank
I
you
would say.
very much. Yeah, also your mission is quite impressive. We talked about it just a little bit before we start to record, and you said it really beautifully. What is your purpose with people? So maybe you can share a little bit. What is it that you want people to do? And then you can also share what kind of activities do you like to facilitate?
Well, I think I see the purpose in the kind of giving like people a spotlight and bringing them to shine, and maybe to let them grow together, and bringing to shine their very special qualities that maybe they don't see or they hide from themselves. My mission is to try to build up this platform where people can facilitate, exchange experiences, create art, do music, whatever their superpower, to like kind of bring it to the world and tap into their fullest potential. Make this world a better place. It sounds a little bit pathetic, but I think that's how it works. And that's how it works for me.
How do you make people who are shy and they're not maybe even thought about doing some stuff that you might suggest to them so they can really show their whole potential at this moment? How do you help them tap out of this state of not thinking they can do that into a place where they really unleash?
Well, I would say that maybe everything started with the collective painting performance that I created a couple of years ago, where like, yeah, so I wanted to share the fun and joy of painting together. Then I've discovered that some people are really uncomfortable with painting in front of people, and they constantly kind of hold themselves back, saying, I'm not an artist, I don't have talent, like, yeah, it's not my thing. And I really wanted to help them to reconnect with their true potential. And I started to really to learn to study art therapy. And I think like I found some bridges, some exercises and methods to help them, to like through small steps to feel that actually everyone is an artist, and they can call themselves, like, everyone is an artist. You don't have to be an artist to sell, like only because you sell your paintings. You can be an artist even without even showing your art to anyone. It's your like inner perception and your way of understanding of this world. So I found this interesting, and I moved into this direction more and more. And then it was a little bit, let's say maybe too narrow for me, like Art.ibiotics. I'm still doing this from time to time.
Antibiotics.
Exactly. I'm doing this also with my kind of duo partner in crime in this project. Doron Eisenberg is playing music always, so it's like kind of the full immersive experience connected with music, with a small ritual in the beginning and meditation, and then people start to paint. I guide and give them some exercises, and they reconnect with the other people, other guests or participants, and with themselves, and then they kind of create a huge painting together. It could be like 4 meters huge to, I don't know, to 2.5, like really, really big thing where they like paint with brushes and different parts of their body, and they're kind of losing themselves in this fun and reconnecting with their inner child and releasing all these stereotypes about I'm not an artist, I'm not this, I'm not that, all the limitations, and they start to fly and shine through that. And then I've decided, okay, I would love to create an event, because not only painting could be this tool, also music could be this tool. For example, jam sessions.
Yeah.
Very much, yeah. Or anything else, other workshops, breath work, meditation, dance, ecstatic dance, or contact improvisation. Could be so many things. That's how Uroboros was born, the event that, now it has a form of event, but in the future I see it more as a space, and maybe even a retreat or a festival. So it could be everything. It's just kind of this platform,
It's a newborn, the Uroboros.
It was born in the actually it was born in August last year.
All right.
But it came to realization in the beginning of the year. In March.
And what is the values of Uroboros?
Values of Uroboros?
Yes. What are the things that you want to bring out the most when you want to create a space like that?
I would say it's a deep connection to self, to the others, to the nature, and to collective future. I would say
Collective future.
Yes, exactly. And also, what is it all about? It's actually the combination of workshops and performances, music basically. So I would call it rituals and workshops in a modern context, combined with electronic in the modern context. Yeah,
Also, how to help with modern problems.
absolutely.
Like what?
Like climate change, like overconsume, like society, and I honestly am, I'm out of this context of entertainment for entertainment, like party just for party. Let's go and get crazy and get drunk or get high only because it's a lot of fun. I'm not sure that's like a lot of fun in general just to get lost in your, like, in this rausch and substances. It's not fun anymore, because in general in this world there's not so many reasons to just have fun and forget yourself. I think it's about the time to celebrate consciously, but also think at the same time about responsibilities for, like, that we all carry.
Yeah.
And not only someone or government or our parents or our traumas. Actually, we all carry that.
Like
And
what other responsibilities that are not so obvious to us?
no, I would say conscious and like, yeah, attitude to the planet Earth.
This is
To
so confusing,
nature.
though. What it's like to take care of planet Earth.
Yeah, we should start small.
But what is it to take care of planet Earth?
To take care of planet Earth is to produce less plastic, to make right choices, to like don't pollute your environment, your house, your yard, your city. Yeah, probably, like, maybe celebrate and make parties for the good reason, for the like some to raise some foundations for to helping other people who are in need, or helping animals who are in need, or solving some ecological problems, and a lot of things. So I really am I'm sure, yes, that's a future of the collective connection and celebration, that we really have to always put some, like, foundation behind why we just have fun.
Yeah. I think the world is going into interesting direction because we are many people in this world as humans. So the population is very huge, and somehow the food distribution is a bit strange. We trust Lidl, we trust Aldi, or whatever supermarket people have in their local city. And we think because they're big, they provide us food, then this is the food that there is. But I think, let's say, for example, when I go to Lidl, I know that 80% of whatever they sell, it's not worthy to be consumed by humans or any other living organism, in my opinion.
But are you ready yourself, for example, to grow the organic food on your balcony?
Already doing that. You see, there is a plant there.
Yeah,
this is a
I can
chickpea
see.
plant.
But I think it's not enough.
It's not enough. It's getting
tiny
there.
one, right?
I'm getting there slowly.
Yeah, yeah.
I think if we actually will move into living in smaller communities and not be in big cities, for me, it doesn't make sense that someone who's the prime minister of Germany can really decide for all the millions of people who are living underneath his control, right? It doesn't make sense. Also, in a city, it doesn't make so much sense.
Yeah.
And wherever there are smaller communities, it seems like they are more united, and it seems like that they really support each other in more personal way because they know that it's benefits. Here in the city, sometimes it feels like you don't really know who the people are, and they come, they go, or maybe they stay, but they're just flaky. So I feel like also me, I don't get so personally attached to the city. And I think that for me, what I really resonate with is just to go to a beautiful community and to have a permaculture project that will go around there. And It's
Yeah.
possible.
I mean, it is all possible.
It's even better.
But
It's
just
even
we cannot expect that someone would build it for us. We have to make a step to build
exactly.
it. I have a beautiful example of it. I have come back just a few days ago from Pura Vida Festival. I can really recommend it to everyone. I was myself kind of, spontaneous guest. I wanted just to go as a guest, but it turned out that I could also co-create this experience and make some artwork and also facilitate Art.ibiotics.
I really love this name. Art.ibiotics.
Thank you. I think it's like self-explanatory, right? Like you understand what it's all about. But Pura Vida is also like self-explanatory name because it's all about the pure life values that we should integrate in our lives in order to be healthy, in order to be happy, in order to be to live a sustainable life. And this is a festival retreat, but actually this is a community which creates smaller events and also connect with each other and try to change, exchange their experiences. So they have their own platform where they offer one-to-one experiences or events or something else. But like they are trying not to depend on the system and create their own network of facilitators, of gardeners, I don't know, like farmers or visionaries, engineers, whatever your architects, artists, and so on. So whatever is really needed for you, you can find there. And through this project, they educate people and bring these values to shine through interviews, through workshops that they do there. I went back so charged. It resonated with my soul so much. I was really missing and looking for something like this for many years, living in different countries.
Were you always like that? In this high energy, high vibration? Or were you a bit less and with time you struggled until you went to the spot where you are now?
I don't know. Well, I know, of course I know, just never reflected to it so much. I think at some point was always kind of nomadic. I was looking for something where I could resonate with, maybe better life, but not in terms of material comfort only, like meaningful life. And first it was for me in the process of creation, pure as a thing. But after I reached it, so like in music and art, I felt that it was missing. Like something is still missing. The purpose is missing. So it's fun to create. It's amazing, that people like and resonated. It's the way I understand the world or reflect on this world, creating artworks or music. But still there is something missing. The connection to people, the ability to speak on the eye level. Because when you create art, people look at it, they can interpret however they want. They can only say, for example, oh, that fits to my living room or my sofa. But actually, it's much more behind.
Yeah, it's deeper.
And that's why I think like to create spaces and experiences is more effective way to reach people. Yeah. So, and that's why I started to create or follow them as well.
And you were not born in Germany.
No.
Where are you coming from?
I come from Kyrgyzstan.
Kurdistan?
Kyrgyzstan. Yes. Kyrgyzstan is a Middle Asian country which has borders to China, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan. So it's pretty much in the middle of like Asia, and very with beautiful, absolutely mind-blowing nature and nomadic traditions. I love Kyrgyz music, food, visual arts. It's very, very special. And I think it's influenced me a lot. I also play Kyrgyz music instruments with, like when I create music.
Like what? What instruments? This is the only thing that I did not experience from you, your musical skills.
Well, it's not
Not yet.
so, maybe not, I mean, yeah. I'm a part of really nice collective of super talented people. I contribute small part. I'm not a professional musician. I'm a hobby musician, but I do my best. I play folk instruments like I don't know how it calls, like Jew harp, the harp. Yeah, and then flute, chopachor it calls. Then some other percussion instruments from there, and also Ableton.
Ableton,
Electronic
very
music,
ancient
keyboard,
instrument.
vocals with loop station. Yeah, I hope tomorrow we would have a jam session. I can send you some videos, or maybe you can even come over.
Tomorrow, yeah, there is a chance. Tomorrow, what time do you start?
Depends on the weather, but we were thinking about 5.
5. I will be able maybe to join a bit later.
No worries, we are until 8, I guess, playing.
8. All right, I need to see. Tomorrow I'm going to take LSD, basically. Yeah, really early. It's a bit late because I like to take it in the longest day and in the shortest day. Not necessarily LSD, it can be any psychedelic. I think on those times in the year there is something with the energy, so there are portals that are opening. And I believe that also those kind of medicines opening some portals in my chakras. So everything is opened, and then I can request my wishes, or maybe to reflect what happened.
I totally agree about the portal of energy. Everyone can reconnect with or channel this energy in different ways. I prefer to channel it through music and maybe other trance states, not necessarily substantial. But for example, we have a beautiful tool that we all forgetting about is breath.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely amazing, and I'm so happy to make some breath work recently, and again to be reminded how powerful it is and how healing it is as well.
Yeah. Breath is something really remarkable because we breathe the whole time and we don't pay attention to 80% of it, I would say. It's just there on automatic. And yeah, breath, if we do the right kind of techniques, it can literally trigger a DMT trip.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I spoke recently with a quite well-known facilitator of breath at Pura Vida Festival, a young boy, and he created a platform called Breathwork Space, and he also united with another facilitators, and they have a big plan to make this tool again available to people, accessible, because people really don't know a lot about it. And it was blissful for me. It was so healing. I cried I cried the whole session. But it was such a healing tears. So something that was stuck in the body since long time and it was suppressed and, locked into the dark rooms or parts of the body erased. And wow, my mind is blown.
Yes. Also, I talked with Manisha. She was here on the podcast and you said that you also know her. And we also talked about that. She's also a breathwork facilitator.
Yeah.
And she said similar things to you, maybe even the exact same things, that the breath can be so psychedelic that you just feel all your traumas and you can feel some energies that might be stuck in your body. And with the breath, you can move it and you can reflect on it and watch it. It's very beautiful.
Absolutely. It's a really, really nice one.
Yeah, breath. Who would believe with such high technology in our bodies? But our bodies are incredible regardless to the breath, right?
Absolutely. Like we just have to look sometimes not outwards but inwards, because we already have everything we
Yeah.
need to function perfectly and to feel healthy and vibrate, on the high vibrations. We just have to like activate this body, give it right food, I don't know, right exercise, also intellectual food,
Yes,
and
definitely.
yeah, and social food as well, social energy, that all activates, that all crazy tools that you don't need so much actually to feel happy.
Yeah, if you do a little bit of everything,
Yeah.
you feel very satisfied in life, I think.
Totally. Hmm.
But nevertheless, I think psychedelics have a good spot. It's for the same reason we are wearing shoes. We can walk barefoot, but the shoes are more comfortable.
I mean,
We use cars.
entheogens and psychedelics are created to heal, actually. They are created by nature to heal.
What is created again? Entheogen?
Psychedelics and entheogens,
What is it?
entheogen, it's the, let's say, medicine that connect us to universe or to God. You can call it different names, but you feel a divine presence when you take them, like when you take this medicine. And from ayahuasca to iboga to like many other plant extracts, or they are all entheogens, and they are not created for entertainment, let's say. They're
Yeah.
created and used by shamans since
Yeah.
ancient times to heal and to navigate and to get answers.
Yeah, I must also say it's not a recommendation to anyone who is listening to do any psychedelics. And you're also responsible for your own health. So check yourselves very well if you're capable of even thinking about doing anything like that. And it's also a very dangerous thing to be if there is not a lot of respect to it. For me, it's not like just taking drugs. I'm communicating with some energies.
Yeah.
And those energies, they feel if I'm there humble or if I'm there full of shit.
And before stepping into this world, definitely everyone has to educate themselves very carefully and
Yes.
have a very good guide. That's
Yes.
very important.
Yes. But without also a guide, it can also be helpful for me at least. And I had some really crazy times with that, and it was awful at the moment, but it was such a good experience.
I think for the first time, everyone needs a guide. Like, it would be better. Of course, you can handle it without, but not every psychic is ready for it.
Yeah,
So,
you feel it in the body when you're ready for it. It's
yeah.
like you want to eat something. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I want to sleep. I want to listen to this song. So yeah, if you feel a bit repellation,
Calling, maybe.
but the other way, like not attracted, but the
Resistance.
other way, resistance towards it. Yeah, so it might not be for you.
Yeah, totally. Listen to your gut in anything you do.
Yeah, yeah. It's also in the Por la Vida festival that you took photos of Rusbe, that he was there, and it was nice to see him. I met him maybe a year and a half ago. Somehow we needed a photographer, and we decided to do some kind of exchange. So I did some photography of him, and he helped me with coaching me about business. And he gave me some tips that I still reflect on, and they still serve me.
Yeah.
He got really good energy. This
He's
man.
amazing. Yeah. Also, Marlia, they together.
Shout out to Uzbe and Malia.
I think they met Marlia Kaur. They met in Bali, or at least they had a lot of sessions in Bali, and it's just like two huge suns, radiating the energy and transforming everyone and everything around them. I was at their beautiful workshop called voice activation, because sometimes I feel that my voice in general, I lost the voice recently. You remember?
Yeah.
We kind of also messaged together to each other, and I didn't have voice. It was so weird, and I see it also as a sign that maybe I have to work on it more, like express my vision or my words and my manifestation louder, and not louder even, in full power, let's say, full resonance. And I was so happy to get this knowledge from Rushbe and Marlia. It was beautiful, and first we kind of reconnected to ourselves and to each other, and then suddenly the pouring rain started, and it was in general a lot of water this weekend. It was like full of everywhere, water everywhere, and we came together under the tiny roof, which was not huge, you know.
It was a tent, right?
I mean, it was a stage tent.
Stage tent.
So we really had to stick to each other, like super packed, and sitting very close to each other and singing mantras. And it was so beautiful, so relieving, and maybe the best moment since ages that I had. It was so recharging and healing.
And everyone packed together.
Yeah, and
wow.
we just chanted these mantras, and it was so much happiness and pure joy and pure like bliss in the air. So I think that it was like concentration of energy. You can probably light a candle from like so much. Yes, exactly. It was very special, and I'm super grateful again, Rushbe, for this beautiful guidance.
It's amazing when a lot of people are in the same frequency.
Absolutely.
There is nothing that can even describe it. If you go to a big concert, you can feel it. If it's a good concert, I like to feel it on stage when I'm performing, and there is some kind of unity between the performers and the audience, and then there is a feedback loop of everyone just feeding off everyone's energy, and it's like I'm riding a wave. It's so effortless, but it just bring everyone up. It's incredible.
Yeah, this is very, very special.
Yeah.
And also Rushbe had an interesting reflection on it. He said that basically it sits so deep in our genetics, DNA, that when we sing and our tribe replies in the harmony, we feel okay. So we are safe, we are connected, we are one. And like we are strong. But as soon as there is dissonance, something is wrong. So you have to find out what is wrong, who is doing this dissonance. Maybe we have to fix it, we have to heal it. And so sound is very powerful. And sound is the first thing that our mind perceives when we are in mother's womb.
Yeah.
Because we cannot see, but the first thing that we can do is to hear. And we start to hear, recognize voices. It is very special.
Yeah, it's all vibration. Also, what we see, it's nothing is really solid. This is my belief. And the only thing that prevents, let's say, this microphone from becoming, I don't know, a fish, it's, I think, our belief that it's not possible.
Yeah.
But it is possible somehow. There is this very slight possibility, and I think everything is malleable. And those vibrations, they're just everywhere. It's the colors, it's the food.
Totally.
The people.
Like there is a really nice book called The World is Sound. Die Welt ist Klang is very like recommended to read. It's all about what you say right now. It's actually everything is a vibration.
Yes.
And actually I was reading recently this, and I made a small note that actually we have to vibrate from the point how we want to become, you know. We have to react on something and act in our life from the perspective how we want to become, how we see and wish to become. For example, we want to become more happier, healthy, balanced human being. So from this perspective of our future, we can already create this future now and act.
I think we can be even more specific, like what is to be healthy. You know, it depends. It's very specific from each person. And I think if someone puts themselves the goal to be healthy, it's actually not doing any service to them. Because what it's like to be healthy. I want to get rich. How much money do you want?
Exactly.
You know,
yeah,
like what healthy do you want to be? And then just
I generalize because I speak about like abstract vision, but in general, of course, everyone has its own standards.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you're very, very specific with your goals and what you want, but a lot of people are not, and this is very unfortunate. And I think it's good to bring this awareness. There is a lot of musicians, for example, they listen to this podcast, and their goal is to bring a lot of people to listen to the music. But how many are a lot of people that are listening to the music? Is it 100 people, a lot of people? Or maybe it's 1 million people? What is your goal? And it's very good to be specific, I think, because for me, once I'm specific about those things, I know what steps I actually need to do in order to get to where I want. For example, I bought a Comanche just yesterday. For those who don't know, it's a violin that you play like a cello that leans on your knee, kind of.
It's a Mongolian one, or?
This one, I think it's Iranian.
Ah, it sounds
It's a
very
Persian.
nice, beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful instrument, and I don't know why, but I wanted Comanche for a long time. There is an Israeli player, his name is Mark Eliyahu, and it just blew my mind how he played this instrument, how he still plays. And now I took the courage. It took me a lot of courage to be brave enough to say, I can do that also. So now I'm thinking, okay, how can I play this instrument? I want to play like this guy, Mark Eliyahu, but he's incredible. I cannot play like that at the moment. So what are my next steps? Let's figure out where are the notes in this instrument. There are no frets. There is no like any signs, so I can learn about it. And then it's just to find the notes, to play major keys, major chords, to get familiar a bit more. And that's how I put myself small steps every time. And then even before I notice, I just come to a place where I'm very satisfied about it. And it's such a different thing to have. If I would think I want to play like Mark Eliyahu and I would listen to myself at the moment, I would get so discouraged. And I would
Of course.
not want to play even.
Yeah, that's a big, it's a key actually. If for the big goals to separate them, to divide them on a smaller steps and doable, very, very like doable and tangible steps. If you want to be healthy, well, maybe you have to choose a salad instead of burger, or potato like pommes frites, or maybe you like do 15 minutes of yoga every day instead of doing like big one workout a month, or
Yeah, even 5 minutes yoga just to get there, even 1 minute. If someone is
Exactly.
doing nothing, just 1 minute can make such a tremendous effect.
I can actually say, looking back to my past, when I moved to Germany, I moved as an au pair Mädchen. I worked in a family. I was, it was very interesting experience for me because before that I worked on the TV. I was TV moderator and I was a vocalist in a band. So I had really a lot of attention and so kind of a lot of people around me. But when I moved to Germany, I moved to a very, very small city and I was completely isolated and I didn't know the language. So I was almost dying there. I
What
saw
was
that
the reason you moved?
I wanted to move to see the world. I wanted to have better opportunities because if you have like Kyrgyz citizenship, you cannot properly travel the world and you would never probably even afford it. So I wanted to build up, to be more free, and make choices. Yeah, so I moved here on the economical reasons. And I was in shock because it was not what I imagined.
In a good way or in a bad way?
In a bad way.
In a bad way.
So it was like, what? And this is going to like happen for the whole year. But I used this year wisely. I kind of studied the language.
What was so bad?
Social isolation, and I was a journalist in the past and moderator. So language was my main tool. And suddenly I've lost it. And so I had to reinvent my language. And I started to draw, and I started to do yoga just to keep myself, sane.
You did not do those activities before?
No,
All right.
no. And I would say that maybe this spirituality that I have now in my life that I came through yoga and art, and like this skill of being an artist came also through the need to communicate visually. If you cannot talk, you have to, I don't know, make
Yeah,
signs.
symbolism is very strong.
So, but basically, yoga, also everyday doable exercises on YouTube brought me to basically to the thing that is happening now, which is like full vision.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a great vision that you shared with me before. Yeah, it's really beautiful how you do the actions to get this vision going and going and going.
Thank you. But I think like it's super doable. Like everyone should start a little bit
Yeah.
caring of themselves, because it's all about the self care.
Even not of caring of yourself. Think where you're gonna be in 5 years if you're gonna keep on doing the things that you do today, or in the last month, or in the last 5 years.
I think it's hard to think about what it's gonna be in 5 years. We
Really?
can dream, but actually,
I think it's really. I think this is what separates people. You know, you can really think. You can see what other people think, what time frames they think about. If someone is thinking about what's going to be next week, what's going to be next month, I think someone who's thinking what's going to be next year, what's going to be next decade, they will have way bigger leverage in their life, because it's a different infrastructure to build, right? You don't have the same infrastructure as if you want to build a bungalows, or if you want a big castle or a big palace. I think it's completely different, and I like to think in those time frames. I think, how much can I do in a year? It's not enough.
yeah, it's always, I think, nice to have balance, because if we only stress about how we want to become and what we want to build, we also, would we cannot relax. Sometimes it's also nice to have these breaks and
Yeah.
just to be present without thinking how we want to be. And
Yeah, I think it's many frequencies. That's how I envision it. It's like a gearbox.
yeah,
You can imagine it like that. So you have the big gear, which is like what's gonna happen in 5 years, 10 years.
yeah.
But there are small gears that are moving it because it's too big to move by itself.
That's what calls holistic approach, yeah. So we do small things every day, but
Yeah.
then it becomes a big thing, and then this big thing of your life, or your goal and vision, or purpose in life becomes connected with the purpose of other people, creates the change
Yeah, exactly.
in the world in the future.
Exactly. And what's the best to do than to be the inspiration for those people?
Yeah, but it's
When
also
you light the fire in people to do stuff that will make their life improve, this is the ultimate prize. It wins money, it wins friendships, it wins everything. I think for me, this is the ultimate satisfaction.
definitely. First of all, the human connection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, to know that I can help someone, that I can inspire someone, because I know how many people inspired me. And I know what it took for them to do that. They were just putting themselves out there, and it completely changed my life. If those people were not resourceful enough to bring their own experience and to share their wisdom, I would not be here talking with you.
Definitely, yeah. So we have to thank ourselves sometimes for the choices that we make every day, for sure.
Yeah, and also it's about relaxing as well. I'm thinking in 5 years, I don't want to be stressed like I am today. I don't want to hustle so much. I want to have a nice peace where I can just rest and have my own peace of mind, and from there to do stuff that I really enjoy doing. Yeah, you talked about delegating stuff, delegating tasks and activities. How did you realize that this is something that you would like to go for, to delegate kind of stuff? And because it's difficult to delegate, right?
It is very difficult, especially if you're coming from this, perspective that you really want to build something passionately, and so you want to control processes, and you want to know that everything is working well as you wish.
To make sure.
Exactly. Then it's really hard to delegate. But as soon as something works out, like the first projects, of course, it's almost impossible for everyone to delegate. I think like the biggest visionaries or creators, organizers, experienced designers, they never delegated in the beginning, I'm pretty sure. But then when they started to think about how to make any project sustainable, you learn about project management and start to just understand that some things people and other people can do it better than
Yes.
you and faster.
Yes.
So you can really like save some resources, maybe paying someone. For example, if you organize something, you cannot be a video maker of this event, right? It's just impossible. Because you cannot clone yourself. And that's why you invite someone to create media, the documentation of this thing, and then you can, use it for promotion, for marketing, and connect more hearts, more like minds into this vision and so on, or anything else. Like even though I'm pretty active in social media, I don't really like social media. I really wish I could delegate it. And sometimes I do big breaks from social media, like for a month, or whenever I go to the retreat, or I never post something from there, but I bring something and then I share and select the knowledge that I got. And I see that people are reacting as they kind of need it. So maybe one day I can also delegate this.
Do you automate your posts?
No. No,
Yeah, I
not
discovered
yet.
automation, and it's such a strong tool.
In the past I did it, but now I just somehow stopped it. Yeah.
What was difficult for you to delegate? What did you really struggle with?
Difficult for me to delegate?
Or maybe to give the
Yeah.
control to someone else, something that you wanted to have all the control of it.
It depends on what terms. For example, like for Uroboros, I've created a curation. So I kind of know this subtle vision or bubble that I want to experience, that I want to create on this event. So it cannot be like heavy metal band playing, or or like rough Berghain techno. It's just impossible. I just have to feel what resonates, and this one I cannot, and I'm not, probably would never delegate, because and that's what makes my experiences so special and different than the others. And I love to do this, because I just the simply reason why I don't want to delegate it, because I love to do it.
So you don't delegate it.
Yeah, I don't want to delegate curation. No.
All right.
And I hope to make more in the future.
All right. So this is difficult for you not to delegate, but did you add something that was difficult and you gave it away?
I think in the future, I
future.
would delegate more design. And because I'm myself a graphic designer, actually, I studied here. I got my second degree in Germany as a graphic designer.
You're crazy. How many things you know to do? You also edit videos we talked about earlier.
Yeah, it's related to graphic design at some point.
This is insane. You're very inspiring.
Thank you. But everyone is inspiring. Just have to remember and remind yourself always.
Yeah, this is true. Some people are inspiring by what not to do. This is also inspiration. Yeah, but I love to see when people are tapping into their own creativity and they're not afraid to go deep. They're not afraid to accumulate skills, because now I can see what kind of spaces you really create. And it all comes from building up on those skills, the same infrastructures.
Yeah, I mean, for example, the Uroboros I made basically myself. I created the whole design assets. the curation, the communication, marketing, and Laura Ute helped me a lot with marketing, I would be honest.
She's crazy.
She's amazing, and she's a good friend also. And she was performing at the first Uroboros. It was magical. Like, wow, this constellation, her with musicians, with Izumi Yamamoto and Arash. It was just wow, just a portal to another world.
Yeah, Laura is from a different planet.
Yes.
She's not from Earth.
She's like an avatar from this, the indigo girl, I would say. And yeah, that was a lot of pressure on my shoulders to create it all by myself. So it was a full-time job for like around 1 month. And I thought, okay, it's just one evening, right? One event. And it's so much work because the infrastructure was not there yet. For example, the design templates were not created. Now they are. For example, now I can reuse them and use the chat GPT to write some texts, maybe some elements of this text, but still you need this human vision and touch and depth. Mm-hmm. So step by step, but we learn.
Yeah, it's a beautiful process.
Mm-hmm.
And what are your future plans for Uroboros? Do you plan to do something in the future? There was some event that was cancelled.
It was not cancelled.
Postponed, I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Yes, it was postponed. What is the new date?
Yeah, unfortunately, the fire happened at the place, at the location. But Uroboros, as an idea, would transform to different micro and macro expressions, or experiences, from smaller workshops to the real physical space, and retreats, for example, or maybe a festival.
What do you mean by a real physical space? It's a space that is there all the time?
Exactly. That I wish it would be there all the time, and that's my actually biggest dream. To create such a kind of space or even spaces.
How big is the space? How do you envision it?
It could be also virtual space, actually. But I envision that it's pretty beautiful house with a garden, or maybe like something like, I don't know, or a villa where people can really come and exchange experiences, have an art residencies, perform, concept, and design not only art but also projects for the changing world to the better place.
Some workshops, education.
Yes, exactly. So exchange experiences, basically.
Yeah.
Have lectures or screenings. Yeah, so many things. Maybe a concept store also of the local crafts, or not local, or the crafts from all over the world, giving other people like fair contribution for their work and creations. That would be like my happy place of strength.
Yeah, I imagine also there are a few places like this in the world.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
And such projects already exist. They existing. They are, and I really would love to, to implement this idea to Uroboros, or to bring the idea of Uroboros to there. There are a lot of co-working and co-living spaces like this. It's like, or scientific communities, or not only scientific, like it could be permaculture communities or farms, organic farms. So many beautiful things to learn from, to get inspired. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really believe more and more that we need to make this change from big cities to small communities. Yeah,
it's not so desired by.
It's not so sexy,
by
right?
their system.
Yeah,
Don't forget.
It's not sexy as well if you imagine to have a farm. Like, you need to work all these hours in the farm, and you need to get dirty with cow shit, and
I think it's actually the as you said, it's not so sexy, but it's the most sexiest thing that we can do. The simple life pleasures, the really like the beautiful thing that you don't need anything else.
Yeah, I agree with you. For me, it's very sexy to live like that. But you know, for most of the people with lazy minds, it's more sexy to sit down and watch Netflix and chill and do
Yeah,
the orders from Gorillas. 5 minutes, they come to you with all your food that you ever desire.
but if you want to know my opinion about it, I think the people are afraid to get a lot of energy
Yeah,
because it's very convenient to have a low energy.
yeah, it's easy. You give
Right?
your energy away
It's
to
easy.
someone, and this is their
It's easy. It's
responsibility.
super easy because you're just
You're
lazy.
very right.
Because with a high energy and high vibrations, the big responsibility comes.
Yes.
And this responsibility is hard. You have to carry it and you have to carry it every day. And when I see real visionaries and how intense their work is, it's like I feel sorry for them, like, because they are super tired. They're working day and night, but they are happy because they fulfill their purpose in life.
Yes, and we were way more happier when we actually worked in the fields, because this is what we need to do. We need to move our bodies. We need to eat good food, and we need to have people around us. And you have all this in a community, and this is all we need to feel happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's like a zombie land, let's say.
What is it?
What is going on with the system now? We are all slaves of the system, and most of us. And I'm so happy to see that people are slowly awakening and resist and try to design their life or restructure their life in a way that they finally fulfill their goal or
Yes.
calling. And this is not easy, and I express my fullest respect and gratitude to these people. Like, continue.
Yeah,
Please,
continue.
please.
Do not stop. If you have the momentum,
Yeah.
we must carry the momentum. It gets easier afterwards.
And only together we can make this change and shift in the system. Alone, like if people would do this one by one, we are weak. But
Yes.
together we are strong.
You know what triggered this thought in my head? The fact that I don't have a washing machine here yet. And I'm thinking to myself, if I'm buying a washing machine, how much it cost me? Let's say I find it somewhere secondhand and I get some strong friends to help me, 50 euros, 100 euros. Not so much. But I would say at least 51% of the people would buy something either new or some secondhand with some kind of guarantee. And then it cost more. And then I'm thinking, I'm living in this building, which there is only in this floor maybe 10 apartments, which means maybe 10 washing machines. And the whole building, there are like 6 floors, so there are at least 60 washing machines in this building alone. And what if all of this building would use maybe 5 washing machines? It will make way more sense. And there are so many things that we can also share that will make way more sense. For example, also when you go outside in the mornings, when you see a lot of traffic and a lot of cars, I really encourage anyone to go and see how many people they can find in one car. Usually it's one person. And there are lines of cars.
That's great that you have these thoughts, and because these thoughts will probably trigger your creativity, how to change it.
Yeah, it makes me wonder because everything is so expensive. I need to pay more because I'm paying for the washing machine. But this guy also have a washing machine, so maybe we both pay on it.
And the system wants that you
Yes.
pay both for the
Yes.
washing machine.
Yes.
Instead of creating here the washing machine basement with 5 machines for the whole house. Because then, some rich people cannot put additional money in their pocket that are sitting and leading these concerns
Yeah.
of washing machines.
There is also this conspiracy with the light bulbs. Do you know this conspiracy?
I mean, I know a lot of them.
Someone, that actually two that are coming to my head, but there is this famous one that someone invented a light bulb that doesn't go bad. That it continues maybe for hours. You can use it for years and it doesn't burn. And when he made a patent on his name, so he could never actually execute it. And I think it's the conspiracy, so maybe he also got killed somewhere in the end.
Well, look what's happening with the alcohol industry and tobacco
Yes.
in the world, because alcohol is the heaviest of drugs, one of the heaviest, and it's legal.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's completely make people weak
What about sugar?
and energyless. They're kind of losing their energy because of the alcohol, and it's
Yeah.
very it's on benefit of for the companies and for the system and for the governments.
And this is sexy alcohol. It's been marketed as something very sexy. You
Exactly.
go, you have a party, you drink a mojito, you have some cocktails, some cold beer.
And then you're done. Next day, you like have to recover the whole day. You cannot think
If you're lucky.
about washing machines and how to
No,
make it
washing
more
machines.
efficient. You know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And also caffeine is legal drug, which I think is a very powerful drug. And also the way coffee is being made, I think it's one of the most toxic things in today's world. If you really want to drink good coffee, you need to go at a farm that makes it very organic because it's so used and people want to have as much as coffee as possible. It's also the most sprayed crops in the world. So if you consume cheap coffee, you might consume also a lot of chemicals with that. And it just fucks everything up. And also sugar,
Yeah.
the
Oh
ultimate
yes.
legal drug that I think none of us have resistance against it.
Well, but it's possible to change. You know.
It's possible
This
to
habit.
change, yeah.
Just to switch to fruits sometimes.
Yeah.
That's how I, for example, also got rid of this addiction to sugar. But sometimes, yeah, it still triggers
Yeah,
me.
good sneaker does the work sometimes. But this is what I want to say. This is how the system basically, this is what they give us to survive. When I go to a supermarket and I see like hallways of, I don't know, 100 meters from both of the sides, I have only sugar. This is concerning.
Yeah.
And I really hope that something will happen. And it feels like, I don't know how it feels for you, but it feels like since COVID, there is a lot of bottleneck of things. There are just, there is a lot of pressure, like something is about to happen.
Yeah, it is. I also feel this movement in the air, let's say. But I don't hope that something would change. I want to create this change myself with small steps. And I think that everyone is capable to do this. Even, you know, we can start small. We can like just gather with our friends to cacao ceremony or just play music.
Yeah.
Or I, for example, shared the painting experience, and that's how it all started, you know? It's how it's all starting, actually. And this human connection, exchange of opinions brings some energy, which kind of transformed into actions. Yeah, so thoughts transformed into actions and choices. So I think that we can really start small. Don't have to really expect that the father god or mother nature planet will come and say, now.
Now it's the perfect time.
Exactly. So we don't have a perfect moment. Today, now, this second is a perfect moment.
Yeah. There is this battle in our head, right, between the flesh and the spirit. Let's say the first battle usually happens when we wake up, and the flesh tells us, go back to sleep. But the spirit tells us, you have a lot of things you need to do. There are people that you're responsible for. There are some events that you need to do. And this is the biggest battle, I think, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. And I have to say that as more we do this kind of purposeful, meaningful steps, so more energy we get.
Yeah.
This is a paradox, but kind of as more we work for the right thing, so more energy we get back.
Yeah, and it's also not comfortable when we do the right thing, what we really need to do. What would feel good at the moment will probably feel bad in the longer term. If we take the food, for example, you know, if you decide right now to go munch on a crazy bar of Milka, so you will feel good probably. It will be tasty as fuck. But 1 hour afterwards, pretty sure that you will have a sugar crush. You will be tired. You will have fogginess in your thoughts. But if you wait and you don't eat this, and you will decide to eat a banana, The energy is different.
So let's choose bananas.
Yeah, banana everyone.
Bananas to everyone.
Yeah, you're like a banana as well. You have this yellowish color.
No.
Also, last time you were in this
Yeah, I think
yellowish,
so. I
orangish.
just thought about it later.
Is it something that you feel attracted to this color?
Today,
To
yeah, I
orange?
think this summer, this season, I have a lot of colorful vibe, and maybe radiating a little bit of different energy. Because as I moved to Berlin, I moved because of techno, and
Are you a techno fan?
yeah, I went to Berghain. I was a regular there, so I wore
The
a
things
lot
that you
of
must have
black.
seen in Belgium.
I wore a lot of black, and I feel it. The big shift happened to me like a couple of years ago.
Are you into metal music as well?
I I actually listened a lot of hardcore music
Like
in the
what?
past. Like, I don't know, like Sepultura or Maggots, or I don't know. Let me think.
Who you had crush on the metal scene? One of the Metallica?
No,
No.
it was too commercial for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Even the early stuff?
Definitely, it's super commercial. No, I love. Somehow, I really like the dirty sound. It's not metal, but it's grunge. Dirty sound of Nirvana. It was my thing.
Nirvana was your band.
Yeah, pretty much so. But I was a big fan of Britpop.
Britpop, like Blur.
Oh, like Blur,
Who else?
Oasis,
Oasis.
and Pulp, and Verve, and on Radiohead, of course.
Radiohead.
I actually, until now, I really respect what Tom York is doing. He's a big artist. He is transforming with time too, and also make a lot of changes in this world. About the metal, like, I don't know, I really liked, maybe it's a bit commercial too, but I loved Aerosmith.
Yeah, Aerosmith are amazing band.
Red Hot Chili Peppers was really my thing. So I'm more into this, you know.
Do you like to read biographies of those artists that you used to follow or still follow?
I do this from time to time. Not that it's like my main focus, but definitely interesting to learn.
Yeah, I just listened to the Anthony Kiedis book, what it's called,
Cool.
Scar Tissue.
Yeah.
Did you have the chance to read it or
No,
listen to it?
not yet.
Oh, you had insane lifestyle.
Interesting.
Yes, and he said something about touring with Oasis
Uh-huh.
because they were kind of rivals or something like that. No, maybe I'm wrong. But there was something with Oasis.
Okay.
But he had crazy lifestyle, Mr. Anthony Kiedis. He
I can imagine.
Wow. Like he shares that he did already. He was doing cocaine at the age of 13 in school. Yeah, like crazy stuff.
But in general, the rock music is very patriarchal, patriarchic.
What does it mean?
Patriarchic and pretty
Like
much
male-dominated? Or?
male-dominated, and also abusive at some point,
In
and
what way?
drug loaded. It is, unfortunately. Yeah.
I think it's the human nature, you know, when you give a lot of people money and power, some of them, most of them probably will find the pleasure where it's easy. We built like that. I think like the original life, maybe I'm wrong with that. I'm not a scientist.
Yeah, power is spoiling people unless you don't have spirituality in your life.
Yeah.
Something what guides you from above.
Yeah, and some values to follow. Yeah, that's the guidance.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I think us as humans, you know, we always, in ancient life, we cannot really sit like that and have comfortable conversation. We were always on the run, right? Either to find food, to find shelter, to escape from being food. And it's like the mind is on default wants to rest. And I think this is what we experience now when we have everything around us. And then all of a sudden some kids, you know, they stumble on a lot of money and a lot of fame. Yeah, it's really insane. But it's really interesting as well to read those experiences from other people.
Mm.
And yeah, there is a really big understanding of human psychology when it gets pushed to the extremes.
Yeah, as I said previously, like also high energy requires a lot of responsibility. The same with money. But some people don't understand or don't want to understand this.
What is the responsibilities that you write to
Because
money?
money is also an energy, and the same way it works. So as soon as you have money, you can just spend them and waste them, but also you can invest them wisely and multiply them, but invest in a like kind of good project and make an impact for for the planet, for the climate, for humankind, for education. I don't know what there are so many things we can do, but we also can. Some people like they think they live the moment, like memento mori. They want to just use this situation that they got this power and energy, and yeah, kind of don't think what's going to be after. Yeah, to get to after they pass away, they don't believe in a kind of that there is something else after death. It's probably nothing else after death, but what actually has like what means a lot, yeah, is our actions during lifetime. So we can really make a positive change while we live.
Yeah.
As soon as we have this
How,
energy.
how is your relationship with money? Was it always something that you felt connected with? Was it something that you helped to build up and learn?
Well, I'm coming from Kyrgyzstan and from pretty poor family. We had basics, and after the Soviet Union fall apart, our country became independent. It was a lot of mess in economics. My parents couldn't find themselves so easily. They didn't have this mindset of entrepreneurs, but they always taught me to learn a lot, to study, to read books, and educate myself. And that's what I did. And basically, I also had this mindset that rich people are assholes, But I think I worked and healed this limitation and this stereotype. Because not everyone is an asshole for sure who has money, and I want to be the person who has this like high life standards, but also invest into the very impactful projects and let other people to think, to like change and to tap into their higher potential, also earn with what they can do and invest also from their side. So kind of make this like, I don't know, become at some point a role model in these terms. And for that, I had to work on my money mindset. Yeah. And I'm still in the process.
Would you like to share how you worked on this mindset? What kind of practices did you embedded?
I think that sometimes we are sure that if we love to do something, and it's like, for example, I love to paint, to design things. I love to create events. So I feel shy to take money for that. But it is limiting belief that actually, we are stealing from ourselves when we believe in that. Because we are kind of selling the best skills that we have for nothing.
Yeah.
So, and immediately we put ourselves in the scenario of earning by what we don't like to do and not earning by what we love to do. So we have to really make this shift and make the things the opposite way around and earn by what we love to do and actually avoid doing that what we don't.
Was it difficult for you to price
I'm still
your
in the
time?
process.
Yeah.
In the process.
Yeah, all of us in a process. It's so interesting
But-
pricing ourselves and our art.
But I'm happy I started to sell art, and it was a big process for me to call myself an artist. I thought that no, everyone else yes, but me not. I'm just amateur, But then I said no, I am an artist, and I have all the rights to call myself an artist and also to live from my art.
How do you price your work? How do you say this art worth this amount of money? How do you decide that?
Oh, it's a good question. It's very depends on the situation still, because I definitely have to how to say master my skills before I call the high price. But I try not to call the very low price anymore. So I'm sure that I would always find someone who appreciates it, and if not, then it would have its value, and I can give it as a present for someone.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a lot of value we can exchange other than just receive money.
Exactly.
Yeah, like for example, I used to do some exchanges, photography in exchange for the artist will record something in my music. And I think this was worth way more than what I would get paid. Also spiritual value, which is, there is no money that can really bound this spiritual value.
Totally.
Yeah. I think for people who don't really know how to price themselves, I think the best tip that I can give is maybe to figure out how much they want to work and what is it they're doing, and then just reverse engineer that. Yeah, like let's say for example you're selling 8 pieces of art a month, right? And every month you need 3,000 euros, or let's say 4,000 euros, just to be all right. So then I would just take those 8 arts and I will divide it in a way that it will make sense, so I can reach in the end the 4,000. What do you think about this?
Maybe it makes sense, but you really have to market well to be able to sell these 8 pieces. If you don't sell, then you're broke. So I would actually maybe divide the sources of income first of all, diversify them.
Multiple sources of income.
Yeah, diversify them, and then actually also. I think that the big change starts with this. As soon as you put your work into value, the universe and the society and people respond in the way that they start to value you more, and the opportunities are coming to you. Yeah. But there is still a lot of space to learn.
Yeah, I also struggle with that. It's a work in process. I was very bad with money my whole life until 4 years ago, when I just started to track everything that I earn and everything that I spend. Everything. And sometimes what is so funny that I have resentment because, I'm spending all this stuff and I'm buying all this and it adds up. But in the end, and not to think emotionally about this, and I just put the data. That's all I do. I just put the data, and then I can look back and see what was my financial behavior. And if I do it for 5 years, for 10 years, I have so much data about my financial behavior. And then in my 40s, I can be so smart with money. And this is something that I work towards because I'm scared to be old without money. I see a lot of people like that today, that because there is crazy inflation that we don't really notice in the past 60 years.
Totally.
Yeah, so the money that my parents made, for example, it's not the same amount or got the same value that it was when they actually earned that, because 30 years later, it's lost a lot of it. And this is what scares me.
Totally, I can feel it. I mean, I came to Germany with 50 euros in my pocket.
50 euros?
Yes.
That's it?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
You had a lot of faith in your pocket as well.
But I had a lot of a big vision, let's say, and big dreams and ambitions. So slowly, yeah, I think education gives some good opportunities to find a safe job. But also on this job, I burned out, for example, and it's also not a solution, not a key. So at the end, the key is really to build a sustainable business, scalable business. Scalable is means that you don't put only your time and skills in it, but you can really multiply it. For example, by inviting other people to join you or delegating things.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I actually soon I start business coaching with someone. I never would think I would do this, but I feel need to do this. I need someone who guides me because yeah, I have a lot of kind of ideas and energy.
You have someone who coaches you?
Yeah.
Cool. I would like
found
to get
a
the
woman.
context actually.
It's a super nice woman. She has a very similar. She had some similar situation as me. She is an immigrant, expat, strong feminist woman who don't have any like backup, but only had to really wanted to build her creative business, and she did it. And I totally trust her.
What is her name?
Role model. You probably don't know her.
If you want to give her a shout out.
Well,
I would like to get to know her actually.
I forgot her last name, but her name is Annalisa.
Lisa.
Yes, because I just had to check it.
And what is impressive about her business?
She is actually creating the Woodwork Sisters community. She's a carpenter, and she comes from Estonia. And yeah, first she kind of started these workshops for women to learn carpentry and how to work with wood without, this attitude, I have to ask my boyfriend or my father or my brother to fix this. Everything in our hands, we can fix everything ourselves. We are strong human beings, even like we are more feminine, but it doesn't make, yes, we are, I would say, physically a bit more weak, mostly.
It's
but
not true.
We are able to build commode, let's say, for sure, or a chair.
I think there is nothing more powerful than angry mom.
There is nothing more powerful than actually visionary female woman. Like, I don't know. I think, yeah.
Yeah, the feminine energy is way stronger than the masculine, in my opinion. The masculine is very direct, so it's go very straightforward, but the power, it's come from the feminine, because the feminine is the one that is actually creating. And from the creation, everything happens.
Yeah, and I think feminine energy is pretty patient.
Yeah.
And more stable. That's why maybe it doesn't seem from the first sight so like expressive, because it's more hidden, but it's very stable, and it's because of that it's strong. Yeah. And coming back to the Wood Sisters, after she built this community, she started to coach also other people to, not give up and really hold the vision and build, like, don't go to the compromises and build a creative business and dream model of life.
And then she goes deep actually with numbers and ways to actually create and build stuff.
I think it's like very complex guidance. Yeah. And I would never think, because I'm, as I told you before, was a control freak, and I think I don't need this guidance. I still think, but I really work on my mindset that actually the best entrepreneurs in this world, they invest in education, in the business coaching to grow. And this is a very smart thing to do.
Yeah, I think this investment got the most ROI if you invest in education, in yourself, and being mentored.
Definitely.
Yeah. It can bring more money than Bitcoin.
For sure. And when you pay for it, then you really appreciate it, and you follow all the tips and tricks and exercises, this guidance.
Yeah, there is some mental and emotional commitment when you pay for something, right?
For sure.
Yeah, I noticed with photography, if I don't charge up front, people just don't show up sometimes. And it's so annoying. This is
Yeah,
one of
it
the most
is.
annoying things, but when you charge up front, they show up.
Yeah, that's also, I had the same example with workshops. When I just started to do workshops, painting workshops and working with textures, like on the canvas. Um, I was very disappointed because I invited a lot of people and got a confirmation, and then they canceled last second. And I've decided to take the prepayment
Yes.
before the workshop, because otherwise you put so much energy and you don't get the yeah.
Yeah, people can be very flaky,
Yeah.
but if they commit up front, then you know they're serious and you can go and do stuff with them. No. How we time? We have time still?
I don't know what time is it.
So what time is it? It's
Oh,
6:24.
crazy. We're
Yeah.
talking so long.
Yeah, it's been 1 hour and a half already.
Whoa. I
Yeah.
think we can finish.
The magic of the
Actually,
podcast.
yeah, I also had this. Oh, maybe I can tell about garbage. I'm not sure.
Yeah, tell about garbage. Yeah, it's insane festival garbage. Yeah, you're very humble, but I think you can share more about yourself.
Yeah, that's also actually the thing, being humble. Like, I was always like hiding things about what I do, and one of these money mindset things, changes that you have to make in your beliefs, is finally to list all your achievements. And it's so hard to list your achievements because you for yourself even start to like, no, it was like good luck, it was good fortune, it's not me. But then you really have to own everything you achieve, and after that you understand your value slowly.
Yeah.
But it takes time.
Yeah, it takes time, and it can be a very painful process. The
Definitely.
process of acceptance.
And for example, I'm a Cancer on my horoscope.
Yeah, what is your date?
22nd of July, in 1 month. So I'm the person who really hides. I'm introverted and extroverted at the same time, and expose. So hide and expose, and always like I'm do something in public, and then I reflect on it like weeks.
I can really resonate with you.
But slowly like really changing, because it's like takes time. It's training thing. So what about garbage? Garbage is coming soon in August.
Yeah.
I got this year the beautiful opportunity from the people I work with, from my colleague and friend Chiara, the possibility to curate and co-create the ambient floor. And also it came from her like seeing the project that I already did in the past, and building the trust, trust that we can also that be reliable and so on. Yeah, this year we are creating this experience, and it's gonna be beautiful.
When is it happening, garbage?
From the 2nd to the 7th of August.
And it's Poland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For me, ambient floor is a very special experience of the whole garbage festival, because I mostly don't go out of the ambient floor. It's like a festival in a festival for me. It's like a bubble in a bubble, and I know what is going on our stage and the mood and all the logistic and all the nuances that are happening there, from what tea we serve to which visuals we do, or like who is a headliner, the like biggest name, and so on, and so on. And yeah, for me, it's like very rewarding experience. But I try to change it a little bit into more, as we spoke, like purposeful one. In contrast with like what normal festivals are. It's like craziness, consumption, and celebration for celebration. I would love to change it also at Ambient Floor this year, bringing a lot of spiritual workshops and music, which make you think about.
Think and feel.
Yes.
How big is that, the garbage?
It's around 10,000, 7 to 10,000.
Oh, it's pretty big. Nice.
But our stage is not big. It's actually only for 500 people maximum.
Is it only electronics, or you also have
No,
live?
we have a lot of lives this year. Yes, that's
Who's
what.
the biggest headline there?
It's actually, I cannot tell that because
Oh,
it's not.
it's still
It's
secret.
even not published. But I would say.
Eminem.
You mean at our floor?
Oh, generally in the festival.
Generally, it's a lot of names like Counting Ray, Luigi Tozzi, and many others. And what we have at our stage, I'm not sure if I can reveal some names, but for sure we would have E-Tape, for example. He's a big ambient enthusiast and producer. We would have also Laura Ute with Zumi and Tarash, and we would have Joa Luna, maybe you know her too, from Berlin. We would have Yannick Robbins, Peter Kiern, This Garden. That's all my bookings. And I'm so happy to bring this beautiful collective to this year.
This is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I started to have this inspiration thought by someone who's really inspiring me. His name is Alex Hormozy. He's quite famous now, and he says that if you look at yourself now from the perspective of your 70 years old Diana, how does it feel to be you right now from 70 years old perspective? Isn't it interesting? Imagine you after the Garbage Festival, that you reflect on it when you're very, very old. For me, it gives me a lot of push and drive to do whatever I do. It makes everything more juicy.
Oh, I think that I would miss these times because as a 70 years old person, I would really think, wow, it was actually very intense and colorful, as you said in the beginning, and also diverse, versatile, yeah. So I have also my very calm moments, which I enjoy, but also very intense moments. Yeah, I think I'm moving into the right direction. I hope.
It looks like that. You're very radiating with life energy and
Thank
vitality.
you. But, everyone has its ups and downs.
We must go down.
Of course.
Pain is a bliss in the end.
And I think when we are down, actually, then we have this moment to reflect on the vector.
Yeah, this is the growth, the pain, the pain and the suffering. This is the growth, and we have the choice if we relate to it as something undesirable, or if we get excited. If we get excited towards pain and suffering, for me, it changed my whole world completely. Most of my activities are not fun. It's not fun to sit down and creating posts and to think and to run and to do physical activities and to practice guitar for the same exercises and to play same things just to keep myself in shape. But it pays off as hell in the end.
I think we have to learn from nature, because nature is a crazy wholeness of like balance of pain and love and joy, pleasure, and also like violence and cruelty and life.
Yeah.
And in order to survive, we have to fight. But everyone choose their tools and weapon, how to fight. You can fight, of course, with a real weapon, or you can fight with art.
Yeah, exactly.
Fight with art.
Yeah, fight with your mindset.
Exactly.
Yeah, do not let the world dictate you to be mediocre and average. Be someone that people will look up for, and they will say, I cannot believe I know this person. They help me so much. They inspire me.
You can fight actually with just making friends.
Yeah.
This is the best way to fight,
Yeah,
creating a
even
community.
yeah, with connecting with people to really
Exactly.
know who they are and how their day was instead of
Mm-hmm.
just us, just loading all our emotional load on them.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do that as well in my early years. I would meet someone, some friends, and for me it felt like maybe it's a battle of who dumps the most emotional load or content on each other.
So it's kind of using your friends as a psychologist or psychotherapist.
Kind of, yeah, without their consent.
I mean,
Also being used like that.
yeah. Actually,
It's pretty violent.
it is, but also at some point we have friends also in for this goal. But of course, the healthiest way is to give something, yeah, in order to receive. And when you're receiving something from your friends, it's a biggest gift. Don't
Yeah.
without expectations.
Yeah, and to be honest, my opinion is that I think no one really cares about me. Like, for sure, people care about me, but no one really, really cares about me. And they don't care what I had in my day. They don't
Mm-hmm.
care if I managed to have a good practice or not, if I managed to do my tasks or not, if I have enough money for the month or not. It's my care to have. And if I bring it always to the conversation instead of really being there for the people that I'm connecting with, I lose all the connection. And even though that I might have this need to be heard or to be seen, I feel once I give this to other people, then I receive it without even asking.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think, yeah, actually, the biggest reason why people start to care about us is as soon as we start to share with them and give them the gifts that we have, then
yeah,
they start to care.
yeah, but not all of them, and it's also okay. I don't have any expectation from anyone. Some people they just need to get some things. They cannot give, and it's okay.
Yeah, no, we have to give. Like we have to
Yeah,
care about what we give to others,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
also the thing is, we are not designed for everyone to like and to love us and to want to work with us, and it's okay.
yeah,
If
yeah,
someone is not happy about you, you just go further and do your thing.
yeah.
So don't try to please everyone because our energy and time is limited and the most valuable resource.
Yes, our time and our attention, definitely. Do you have any other wishes before we finish this podcast?
Well, I wish that your podcast will bloom and become like more and more, get more and more listeners and great guests, and help you to express your creative mission. That's my only wish.
Hallelujah.
And actually, my wish is also for the listeners who finally, I hope that someone made it to the end after 1.5 hours of our conversation. Also, again, I would repeat it and would never stop repeating it probably. Thank you for your choices and keep going. Like, be gentle to yourself and stay responsible for your actions.
Yes. How can people find you?
Well, Instagram. And also I have a Facebook community as well. I have a Telegram community as well. My project calls Uroboros. That's how you can find me on Telegram. Our community is growing. There we can exchange also different services and one-to-one offerings of other people. So we kind of promote each other. And share our visions as well. And I also have my personal account, Iana Go, and the account for my project, Art.ibiotics, and for my event, Uroboros as well. So it's 3. Oh my God, it's already 3. 3 accounts, yeah. But it was important to separate them.
Yeah. Art.ibiotics.
Art.ibiotics.
You need to have a trademark on this name.
Yeah, I will think about it.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much also for inviting and for this initiative, because I saw previously you made already so many talks And this is also such a beautiful mission to give people a platform to share and spread their thoughts. And
Yeah, it started as a need for myself. There was no podcast about artists in Berlin, that there is someone actually talking with artists. And I thought, what would be even better than to have the front row seat and being in this podcast? Yeah. So thank you all of you people who are listening. And I think there are some people who are listening, like to all the episodes, who are actually following me. So this is amazing.
amazing.
And if you followed all the way until the end of the episode, if you're on Spotify, you can scroll down and then you can see also all the links of Iana and all the beautiful project that she's doing. So you can follow her, support her, send her a message that you heard the podcast and you want to take part. And if you scroll a bit more on Spotify, you can see a Q&A. So you can write your name there, write whatever you want, how you feel about the episode. And if you will comment your name there or something like that, I can give you a shout out next episode. So it will be worthwhile. Cool. Thank you, Iana. That was incredible.
Thank you so much. Woohoo!
Sound of Pigeon Podcast.
Sound of Pigeon.
Sound of Pigeon Podcast.